Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. We're going to talk about the momentum on a couple of popular stocks, names that you'll recognize, with Mike Vodicka, who's our momentum stock analyst at Zacks.com. Apple being one of them, AAPL, the ticker symbol. Now, they recently reported earnings, correct?
Yes, they did, October 20th.
Okay, and better than expected.
Yeah, they actually, uniquely, they posted year-over-year revenue growth, which is kind of unique right now. We're not seeing a whole lot of that. Revenue was up 25% to $9.87 billion, so that was a pretty big number they produced. Also beat on earnings, too. Earnings per share of $1.82 against the Zacks consensus estimate of $1.43. Okay. So they had a nice beat there. And Apple, Apple's been a dominant company, and they continue to be dominant. They gained market share in three major categories: computers, what else is it? Music players and smartphones. They've recently made a lot of inroads with their iPhone. It's very popular, selling lots of units of that. Right. So they're gaining in a lot of the major statistical categories. And
all those apps for that iPhone. I mean, there's an app for just about everything you could imagine.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's been a nice boon for them, too. They're sitting on a cash position of $34 billion right now, which is pretty incredible. A lot of investors are asking, well, what are they going to do with it? Maybe they should create a dividend for their investors. But so far, no word on what they're going to do with their pot of cash. But
yeah, pretty enviable position these days.
Yeah. So after the quarter here, we saw estimates spike. The trade based upon the current year, they're trading at 26.5 times. That is a premium to the overall market. But like I said, when you invest in Apple, you're really getting like a Cadillac company. They're premier in their industry, so it's a little bit pricey. What we've seen happen on the chart, shares bottomed out in March right about $82, and then recently it topped off at $208. So we've seen some pretty big time share appreciation. Apple's just doing what they're great at.
Any reason to believe that Windows 7 is going to help strengthen Microsoft's position against Apple's market share?
That's possible, but the users that use Mac and are using their computers, like Mac users, are very loyal. So I would have a hard time seeing Microsoft grab any of those people. Really.
It is two different worlds, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and Mac too. I think I read the other day is Mac users only account for something like they have a 3 or 3.5% market share. So it's really a small group of people, but very loyal.
Right. All right, and then there's Caterpillar, CAT, the ticker symbol here, recently hitting a 52-week high. A lot going on with them in the layoff/rehire department.
Yeah, it's kind of a different story than Apple. Apple has really done well, but Caterpillar kind of took a hit with the market weakness. And like you said, they did have some big layoffs recently, trying to cut costs. That's really a function of what's happening on the revenue side. Their recent third quarter results reported on October 21st. Their revenue was down 44% year over year. So, maybe some people are saying, well, how can this be a momentum stock if their revenue's down so much? Well, they've tried to supplement that by, like you said, cutting costs, really, laying some people off. To add to the quarter, though, they did beat on earnings, which is good. And this is kind of a recovery story, I guess you could say, related to the recovery of the global economy. Their numbers are solid right now, but their CEO, Jim Owens, said he thinks that their business has hit a low point. He sees growth. They're looking for growth between 10 and 25% in 2010. So he's optimistic about the business moving forward. From a valuation perspective, longer-term picture, shares are a little bit pricey here, too. They're trading at 27 times current year earnings. So, you might want to wait for a little bit of a pullback, or it'd have to be a longer-term play. Maybe a 5-10 year position for an investor. And then on the chart here, the chart looks like many of the charts we've looked at. Shares bottomed out in early March at only $21, and since then they've crossed the $61 mark, so they're up, I think that's 200%. That's a pretty big time gain right there.
Yeah, do you own either of these two?
No, I don't.
All right, check out more Zacks Rank Buy stock pick ideas on our homepage, Zacks.com. Over in the upper right-hand corner, where we update them for you daily. 4 new stock pick ideas, 1 in each of the investing categories that we write about each day for you, Monday through Friday. On business days, holidays, of course, we take a holiday too, but won't get into that. With Mike Vodicka, I'm Terry Ruffalo.